Nature arrived at these solutions without laboratories, without trial and error over human timescales, and without access to materials science. In several cases, biologists discovered the engineering application before they understood the biology. Spider silk produced by golden silk orb weavers, Nephelopilites, has a tensile strength of approximately 1.3 gigapascals, 5 times stronger by weight than high-grade steel, and 3 times tougher than Kevlar. A strand 1 centimeter thick could theoretically stop a fighter jet in flight. The silk also stretches up to 40% of its length before breaking, a combination of strength and elasticity that no synthetic material has matched. The obstacle is production. Orb weavers are territorial and cannibalistic, making farming impossible. Scientists have spent over 30 years attempting to produce spider silk proteins through genetically modified yeast, bacteria, and goats, with limited success. The best current synthetic versions achieve roughly half the toughness of natural silk. Shortfin mako sharks, Isurus oxyrhynchus, are covered in dermal denticles, microscopic tooth-like scales oriented in precise rows that channel water into low-drag microchannels along the skin surface, reducing friction by approximately 5 to 8% and disrupting bacterial adhesion so effectively that mako sharks almost never develop skin infections. In 1999, Speedo reverse-engineered this structure for the fast skin swimsuit, released for the 2000 Sydney Olympics. The suit broke 23 world records in a single games. FINA, swimming's governing body, banned full-body versions in 2010 after the technology was deemed to confer an unfair mechanical advantage, the first time a textile had been formally banned from Olympic competition for being too effective. Humpback whales, Megaptera novaeanglii, have a series of large rounded tubercles running along the leading edge of their pectoral fins, the opposite of what aerodynamicists had assumed would be efficient. Wind tunnel testing by Frank Fish at West Chester University showed the bumpy leading edge reduces drag by 32%, increases lift by 8%, and delays aerodynamic stall to angles 40% steeper than smooth equivalents. The mechanism, each tubercle channels airflow into a separate vortex that keeps the boundary layer attached at extreme angles. The company Whale Power licensed the geometry for wind turbine blades, increasing low wind output significantly. Engineers have since retrofitted the geometry to helicopter rotor blades and industrial fan impellers. Macrotermes termites, family Termitidae, in sub-Saharan Africa build mounds up to 8 meters tall that maintain an internal temperature of approximately 31 degrees Celsius regardless of weather. Outside temperatures range from 3 degrees Celsius at night to 42 degrees Celsius during the day. The mounds do not contain heating or cooling systems. The structure itself acts as a passive lung, with a network of channels that contract and expand with temperature differentials to drive air circulation. Zimbabwean architect Mick Pierce used this principle in designing the Eastgate Center in Harare, a mixed-use building with no conventional air conditioning that maintains a stable internal temperature year-round. The building uses 90% less energy for climate control than comparable structures of its size. Box jellyfish, class Cubozoa, have 24 eyes arranged in 4 clusters around the body. 16 of these eyes are structurally simple. The remaining 8 have corneas, lenses, retinas, and irises, full camera-type eyes anatomically comparable to vertebrate eyes. Box jellyfish have no brain. The eyes connect directly to a distributed nerve ring that processes visual signals without centralized computation. Remarkably, 2 of the 8 camera eyes always point upward toward the forest canopy above the mangrove habitats they frequent. Even when the animal rotates, they are weighted with calcium sulfate crystals that keep them gravitationally oriented at all times. Engineers studying the eye structure have used the directional selectivity of the system, which detects motion in one plane while ignoring another, for motion sensor chips used in automated manufacturing quality control. Tokay geckos, gecko, can support their full body weight hanging from a single toe on a polished glass surface. Each toe is covered in lamellae, rows of microscopic setae, each approximately 100 micrometers long, each splitting at the tip into hundreds of spatulae approximately 200 nanometers wide. At that scale, weak van der Waals forces, the same atomic attraction that determines how molecules stack, accumulate across the total contact area to produce adhesion exceeding 130 newtons per square centimeter. The adhesion is also self-cleaning. Each step wipes the spatula against the surface, electrostatically removing contaminating particles. A team at Stanford University produced synthetic gecko adhesive climbing pads sufficient for a 70-kilogram person to climb a vertical glass wall, the first demonstration of a load-bearing van der Waals adhesive surface. The common mussel, Mytilus adolus, secretes adhesive proteins, MEF proteins, or mussel foot proteins, that bond to almost any wet surface, glass, metal, Teflon, biological tissue, with a strength equivalent to industrial epoxy, in saltwater, at cold temperatures. The mechanism resisted synthesis for 30 years because the adhesive proteins require a post-translational modification, DOPA, a catechol amino acid, that degrades during standard recombinant protein production. Researchers at Purdue University resolved this in 2022 using a modified bacterial expression system that preserved the DOPA modification. Synthetic mussel adhesive is now in clinical trials as a surgical patch that seals internal tissue tears without sutures, and as a coating for medical implants that prevents rejection. The common kingfisher, Alcedoathus, dives from air into water at speeds exceeding 40 km per hour, a transition between two media of vastly different densities that should produce a pressure wave and significant drag. The beak prevents this. Its long, tapered profile with a specific cross-sectional gradient minimizes pressure buildup at the transition point. In the mid-1990s, Eiji Nakatsu, chief engineer at JR West and a competitive birdwatcher, applied this geometry to the nose of the Shinkansen 500 series bullet train, which was generating unacceptable sonic booms when entering tunnels at 300 km per hour. The redesigned nose eliminated the boom, reduced air resistance by 30%, cut electricity consumption by 15%, and allowed the train to travel 10% faster than its previous top speed, while staying within existing noise regulations. 8 animals. 8 mechanisms refined across millions of years that engineers spent decades attempting, and largely failing, to replicate through deliberate design. Tomorrow's is the animal that breaks a rule most people didn't know existed. This channel posts a new animal fact video every day. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.